Folks, we are 2 days away, right? Is it the UAW strike deadline?
Yes, Thursday, yep.
There is a report out. The UAW has bent on one of its demands in terms of a pay raise. Initially, and I suspect this is a planned strategy. The UAW was initially calling for a 40% pay raise over the course of a contract. They are now asking and have offered a mid 30% raise. And I suspect that is a mechanism in which to set up their strike. Because I don't know. We'll see if these car companies are willing to meet these type of demands. But at the very least, it's showing some flexibility on the part of the UAW. Meanwhile, here's Shawn Fain. He is the UAW president on Jig Tapper yesterday. Basically addressing, and this is the plan A of the game plan to attack unions when there's a strike. I mean, we've seen it by the producers and attacking the Writers Guild and the Screen Actors Guild, saying like, you're hurting other people. What about the gaffers? And what about the grips? And what about the craft services? And what about all the other people, ancillary people? What about these locations that their economy rely? You're hurting other people, as opposed to the producers, or in this instance, the car manufacturers, are hurting other people by not providing wages and decent working conditions for the UAW. Let's here's Shawn Fain.
So analysts say a prolonged strike will push up auto prices and dramatically hurt the economy. Are you worried about either of those possibilities?
You know, it's amazing to me how analysts, when workers ask for their fair share, it's always the end of the world. And, no one, the last 4 years in general, in the last decade, these companies made $250 billion in profit. In the last 6 months alone, they made $21 billion in profit. In the last 4 years, the price of cars went up 30%. CEO pay went up 40%. No one said a word. No one had any complaints about that. But now, God forbid that workers actually ask for their fair share of equity in the fruits of the labor and the product they produce, and all of a sudden it's the end of the world. So, if the talking heads, the pundits, the companies want to say that, if we strike, it can wreck the economy. It's not that we're going to wreck the economy. We're going to wreck their economy, the economy that only works for the billionaire class. It doesn't work for the working class.
Hear that, analysts? All right.
It's great to see a union leader on national television talking like this. It really is. People start getting ready for this strike. We could see it as early as Wednesday, Thursday, as Friday, right?
Yes, because the 14th is the deadline, so Thursday. Yes,
we shall see. We'll be talking about that on Friday, one way or another, probably over the next couple of days. Meanwhile, we just had, what was it, on Thursday of last week or Wednesday? I can't remember now. Representative from on the SAG negotiating team.
Oh, yes, last Wednesday. Yep.
When
Sean
was that?
Sharma. Last Wednesday, Sean Sharma.
Sean Sharma was on. If you missed that, folks, go back and watch that. I mean, it was a great interview. He was really, just laid it all out. Meanwhile, it's not like it used to be in terms of like the television seasons. We don't see new shows rolling out in mid to late September, early October in the same way that we used to, where it was just sort of an annual thing. You go back to school and all your favorite TV shows come on. However, there still are shows that take the summer off. And Drew Barrymore's show ended before the strike. hit, she refused to go on MTV Awards, to her credit, because she wasn't going to break the strike. Here's the thing. She has a show that has a WGA contract. Now, if they hire writers, she's decided to come from her show. If they hire writers, they will be scabs. So supposedly now there'll be no writers on her show. I don't know what that word is, but she is starting up her show. And here are some audience members. When did the show start? Was this yesterday?
Yeah, this was yesterday. Yeah.
Did the show start taping yesterday?
Mm-hmm. That's why she made the announcement about coming back to talk about basically how they're striking, that she's going to use, go back amidst the strike.
And here's two audience members who have decided they're not going to cross a picket line.
So we got tickets to the Drew Barrymore show today. We had no clue there was a strike. No clue she was changing her statement or anything today. And we showed up and we saw the strike and we were given pins.
We took our little buttons.
Yeah,
this is what got us kicked out of the Drew Barrymore show.
We were kicked out in the middle of everything after signing.
Verbally assaulted by her security officer. It's really cute that Drew Barrymore claims that she cares about her fans and wants her fans to show up for the show, and then we get kicked out for supporting what is right. Drew, you should do what is right. Support your writers and support your fans who are supporting your writers.
How far into the building did you get?
We signed the waivers.
Yeah,
we got in there, and then we went up to use the bathroom and got pulled over by a security officer. And he was like, "You're out."
How are you feeling now about Drew and about all of it in light of this?
I'm just really shocked.
Yeah,
To be honest, I had no clue she would turn her back like this, especially on her amazing writers. It's really
It's not about us, it's about the writers.
Yeah.
Well, what from this point forward? I mean, can you see a circumstance where you take another run at going to the show?
Probably not, no. Especially after we could see inside that they don't care about the fans, they don't care about the writers.
How large?
I mean, that's pretty amazing. I don't know if the writers set those guys up to go in and do that, which I would be totally in favor of and impressed. But that's great.
Well, it also goes to show that there was some reporting around these two that they I think they alluded to it in the clip, but they were like, we didn't know about this prior to going. They saw it, they were like, oh, we would, of course we support them, and then thinking obviously that maybe Drew, the person that they were going to see, would also feel that way. They get removed from her audience for having a button on. I think it almost this is probably a moment for them to realize, oh wow, I'm actually seeing that power imbalance happen in real time. That's probably changing their consciousness in some way just by experiencing that if they didn't know about it beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, I think it's easy for us to forget that people aren't aware of these things in the same way. And frankly, I mean, if you had asked me, does Drew Barrymore have a WGA show? I would have been like, Drew Barrymore has a show? I mean, so I don't know. I don't know who show, but good for them. And that's, obviously why you pick it, because she's going to feel this pressure. And boy, I hope they don't have any folks in there who are scab writing. That would be bad.